come, gather round, everyone. They're about to talk Disney. I am still so confused as to whether I'm going to eat at Connections or Creations. So the only way I can keep them straight is I have to think, okay, well, my mouth connects to my stomach, so I guess that's Connections.
So I call Catherine to see how dinner at the restaurant is going, and she says, I can't talk to you right now. I'm talking to Mickey. So I'm like, okay, here's the big cheese. I get it. And then she says, hold on, he wants to talk to you. So she FaceTimes me, and I'm FaceTiming with Mickey as I'm getting ready for the podcast.
I don't understand why people spend hard-earned money on a Mickey ice cream sandwich in the parks. I mean, we literally all have ice cream sandwiches in our freezers at home. We don't have Mickey bars. From the mind and creator of the Disney YouTube channel Living in Diz comes a whole new Disney podcast. Okay, can we talk some serious Disney here now? Nope. Get ready for all the Disney knowledge that you can handle. It's Cory. It's Lawrence. It's the DIZPod.
You are now listening to a member of the Disney Podcast family. Head over to Disney Podcast Family on Instagram to see all the latest posts for this show and links to other great Disney podcasts.
Hello and welcome everyone to the DIZPod, episode 74.
75.
You know, I was going with 5 and something made me do 4. I was on a roll. I should write this down, but I don't. So, Lawrence, it's cold again. It's cold. It's cold outside. I feel like this is the longest length of cold we've had here in Florida, but I could be wrong. It's recency bias. But you know, and tomorrow we're out in the parks, Magic Kingdom, and it is going to be in the 40s. So kind of thinking, you know, I feel like it's always harder to dress in Florida when the cold hits than when you're used to dressing for the cold up north from where we're used to being. You know,
Right.
it's like, okay, if I go too heavy, I'm going to be too hot all night. If I don't go heavy enough, I could be chilly all night. And then for me, I'm weird. It just depends on my mood, I guess, because there are times I'm trying to think. I don't even remember now. When we were at Universal the other night, did I wear? Did I just have a t-shirt on? I don't remember now. But there are times where I will just walk around and it could be 50 and I'm like, this feels nice tonight.
Yeah.
It just depends on my mood. Are you like that too?
I will tell you, it certainly does feel like it is colder faster and longer, even here, and I'm sure a lot of the country is experiencing that. But it's cold. Last night I sent you a text with a screenshot. We were sitting at 28 degrees.
Oof.
In North Carolina, and about an hour and a half or so from here, they had traces of snow, and that's not a high elevation, so that was weird.
Oh. So will you see snow at least a little bit throughout the course of a winter, or is it a very big surprise if it happens?
So Finley asked me the other day about snow, and I was like, do you want to see a picture? And so I showed her a picture of her. I want to say it was early 2020, and we did have snow, and we had like 4 inches or so. That's been really it. That was really the last time. No, I think there was another snow maybe after that. maybe maybe one snowstorm every 2 years, and maybe it's 4 to 6 inches. That's about it.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. I
it's
could deal
odd.
with that. I
I,
could deal with it,
I
you know.
so well, and what happens here is you know it's coming. You go to the store, you buy your milk, bread, and eggs, of course, and then you just get ready. And the snow normally melts the next morning, so you don't really have to worry about shoveling it or anything like that. I mean, I have a shovel, but I like it's still brand new in the plastic wrap, you know, like
Ah, I know. We brought a scraper. You know, there was so much that we could have brought down from Maine, but I just held that scraper and looked at it, and I was like, "Well, I don't know. You never know."
Mhm.
And I did use it once. I did use it once in 8 years. So, I guess it came in handy. Hello in chat. We do this live because we do it for you. Joining us on this wonderful Tuesdays here for the DIZPod. It looks like some Winston-Salem schools were out today due to some ice. And I hear places that aren't used to snow that may get a little bit. It's like everybody like freaks, which I guess is understandable, you know, where living up in Maine, you know, you were just used to driving through 5 inches of snow every day
Yeah.
for 9 months. It looks like Heist Piano is in the chat. Welcome,
Oh,
future guest.
yes. Very nice. Yes, he will be on next week. Well, I'm so excited about that. If you have not checked out his channel, please go over and check that out. He's got some amazing ability, amazing talent. So, yeah, it's musical week the next 2 weeks here as we talk to Heist Piano next week, and this week we have Neal talking about a magical night of hope. So we're excited. We're excited. Obviously,
Ah,
Christmas space, as Cory and I did not talk to each other before the show as we got ready. Um, pretty similar,
no.
pretty similar shirts there.
Yeah, we never coordinate this. It's just when we pop on, what we have on is what we have on. And I saw that Sharon said that we were quite matchy today, and I believe I'm wearing an official DIZPod item today
Yeah.
from the Streamstress. Are
Uh,
you?
I am. I know I am because she just sewed the buttons on. So,
Ah, I
I,
like that one.
I
I
know.
like the little Mickeys there and the minis.
Uh,
Um, I don't know. I think this is a DIZPod special.
okay. It might be that might have
She
been what happened because she knew it right
would know.
away. So I think you're right. She knew it right away. So she was like, "No, your shirts aren't the same. I thought it was the same, but your shirts aren't the same."
Uh-huh.
She knew. So I'm guessing she did them for
Oh,
herself.
yep. You know it's cold. You know it's cold when the iguanas are
Yeah, the iguanas start falling out.
yes,
Yeah. Um, all right. So,
they do. They do. I want to acknowledge another name that seemed new to me tonight. Michelle the Quilter is here. Welcome from freezing Central New York.
oh, all right. See, quilting, stream stress, we got it all tonight. Um, so sitting
Yes, we do.
backstage, you know, you folks all know him. Um, you know, he means a lot to me and to Cory. Um, but he has come on tonight. He's come on to the show to talk about um, Give Kids the World and A Magical Night of Hope, which he participates in. I think it is a great event. And it's so funny because tonight or today is the Tuesday. What's it called? The Day of Giving, right? Um,
Yeah, I think it's the day of giving. So anyone that donates to any charities, I guess, Christmas charities, for here or specifically for Give Kids the World, they double your donation.
Nice. So, very appropriate to have Neal on tonight to talk about Give Kids the World. So, if you're ready, Cory, I'll bring Neal in. Uh,
Definitely.
oops, hold on. Sorry, guys. Neal, can you hear us? Hey, how we doing out
Yes,
there?
I can.
Oh, Giving Tuesday. Thank you, Mom.
We're doing good. I see the chat. I actually remember how to turn the chat on. I turned on the chat.
um,
I
so
thought he
Now I
wasn't
can
allowed
read
to
the
see the
chat.
chat.
oh, he has ways. He has ways. So Neal, I appreciate you coming on. It does mean a lot to me. I have not had the privilege of being at Magical Night of Hope, but certainly being in this community for the last 2 years, know a lot about it. But for those that may not be familiar, can you kind of give us an kind of the background on Magical Night of Hope?
Sure. It's very interesting. Alyssa and I knew many of the streamers that go live all the time from Disney before we moved here and before the pandemic. And I, during the pandemic, I sent out a ton of music to certain people that I knew, if they wanted to hear, they knew I was a trumpet player. And we moved here, and it was Cory, it was Donna, Cory meets World, Donna Jaworski, uh, who came up with this thought about doing this for Give Kids the World. She's very involved in Give Kids the World,
Mm.
and the first one we did was very completely different than what this is going to be. The first one was in Donna's, basically her living room and her dining room, and we had Bob playing piano, and we had uh, Kyle on drums, and that was basically the extent of it. Me, when I played with tracks. We were able to do that, and it was nice, but it was small. The next year, the thought grew. Cory reached out to Give Kids the World. We did pretty well as far as funds for for Give Kids the World. We did pretty well considering it was so small,
Hmm.
but everybody loved it. So where are we going to do it again? And we went ahead and, well, Cory went ahead and they made a deal to do it at the village, at Give Kids the World Village. They have a big stage, and they have equipment, lots of room for people to come and see it, and the ability for us to go ahead and broadcast it on YouTube. So they came up with this whole scenario, and we did it the first year, and it did really, really well.
Hmm.
We added Kyle added his friend Ron on bass, so we had keyboards, we had bass guitar, we had drums. Josh from Resort TV One is a saxophone player, and he plays sax, and I played trumpet. We did very well, and Give Kids World was very happy. So comes the next year, and then we also had. Oh, I mean, Nate was there. He read "Twas the Night Before Christmas." They interview people. Gidget, oh, how do you pronounce his name? The keyboard player.
Ice.
Heiss.
Hmm.
Heiss. Heiss had put in. Uh, he sent his music to Cory, and he performed. Bob performed. There were interviews. An interview of a child and a family that went to the village, and it was beautiful. The next year we did it again. We got it better this time. We found a sound gentleman who is phenomenal and really knows what he's doing. Steve from Steve's World. See how this is all the folks who you know.
Hmm.
He was involved because he does a lot of the videography and the running the cameras. So Steve was sitting there. This new sound gentleman was phenomenal last year, and the sound was 1,000 times better than the year before, because the year before it glitched out at times.
Uh,
Yes, and everybody's working hard. Nobody wants to glitch out. Just like on a live stream, when it glitches out, people get upset about it. Well, here we're trying to make money for these families to be able to come and experience this unbelievable place, and we did really well. We did
mhm.
really well. I know it was over $70,000. I think it's like $8,000 to $10,000 a family. So we got many families to go.
Wow.
This year, it's blown up. Heist will be there again. I know he was in the chat, and I know you're interviewing him next week. Uh, and he has his music. Josh and I are back on horn. Cory will be singing from Cory Meets World. And we have our rhythm section. Bob will be there, and Bob will do his show again, which is always great to see Bob, you know, do his thing.
Yeah.
And everybody loves Bob. We've got the rhythm section, and we've added a guitarist. His name is Connor. Connor is a phenomenal guitarist, great soloist, and we're all excited to see what he does. So there's going to be some special stuff this year for sure. So it's all grown,
Yeah.
and people say, well, did you expect it to grow this way? Well, you don't go into a performance and have any expectation. The expectation is, no matter what we do, are we helping these families and their children? Because that's what it's all about. I got called personally to play on December 14th 6 times, since we decided to do Give Kids the World, and my answer was simple: I'm booked. And many musicians would say, "You're crazy. You're giving up money and you're doing a benefit." Well, you know what? This benefit benefits people that deserve it. That their lives are not simple. Their lives are difficult, and they're trying to make their child feel like they belong, no matter what is going on, what health issue, what disability, whatever it might be.
Mhm.
And the village does a phenomenal job at that. So, for us, it's not how well you play, or whether, everybody wants to see Cory sing, or hear Nate do his thing, or Heist play his keyboard. No, it's or Bob do a show. No, it's about what we can do to help these families get into the village and feel that load come off their shoulders. And to me, that's better than making $1,000, $10,000, or $1,000,000. It's just an incredible thing. You're giving, you're giving not only a donation, but you're giving of yourself. And if that's a certain talent, then that's what it is.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, and guys, when you're there and you're up on that stage, it's so rewarding, knowing, first of all, I'm looking at all the names popping up, in the chat right now, all our great friends, who's, I know that night Cory will be live living in Diz, and I understand that, Ralph Macchio will be in, he'll definitely be there, and Cory and his family will be there. Uh, and I believe that Shirley will be there also. So I know that sometimes, things get a little, dicey. What are you going to do? It's the same time. Uh, Hopefully, you'll take a moment to pop in and check out what's happening, and then go back to Cory, and then go back to see Neal a little bit, and go back to Cory, and support Cory as always. But this is a special night, and this one, you know what? I guess you have to look at the Grinch. which you all saw this weekend. And when he lifts the sled over his head and his heart pops out and grows 10 times, doing this makes Neal the Grinch heart grow 1,000 times. So
Where
it's
is Neil the Grinch? There is no Neil the Grinch. You
I'm
know,
just, I'm a teacher. I like to make comparisons.
yeah, yeah. Well, I know I watched last week, or excuse me, last year, and there were Cory was there not for Night of Hope, but there was some event that I don't know if you remember what the event was, but there was some event,
I did. Yes, I did the Tony Baxter special event, which was amazing.
right? And
Yep,
And
yep. We went.
I'll
It was
say
Cory, Alyssa, and I.
yeah, and I know seeing
that's
you
right.
go,
Victor was there too.
that's right, Victor. Seeing you go around, and see that how that area is set up, and it's just it's not like it's not like a hotel. It's not like a resort. Like the feeling is to give these families individuality, right? And they don't feel like they're in a hospital. It was just incredible to see. And then the star room, right? That's the
The
big
Yes.
star room.
the star room? Can you tell people a little bit about that?
I can.
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't know if Neil's had the opportunity to do it, but you can talk about it first if you want.
Go ahead. I'll talk about it after you. Go, go, go.
So I was told that, correct me if I'm wrong, but very few people get to see this. Maybe if you're not one of the families. So it's a really rare tour to take, and I was able to do that after the live stream of well, no, I live streamed that, right? But signal wasn't great.
Hmm.
So um and I guess that's something that not many people have done. I guess I know it was exclusive to see. It's amazing. There, you look up on the walls and the ceiling, and to see all these stars and know what they mean. Each star represents a family that has stayed there. And let me tell you, there's more stars in that on that roof and on the walls than you would see in the sky on a dark night. It gives me the chills just to talk about it. Some of the family, some of the kids are still a lot of the kids with the stars on displayed are still there, but there's also kids that are no longer with us too, that are represented on the walls and the ceilings there too. But at least we know that that they were able to take time out and enjoy something this incredible and impactful to the family. I think Neal was kind of touching on it a little bit, where you just don't know what this place is like unless you are there, right, Neal? And it's not a hotel kind of setup. It's like a neighborhood. It's like my own neighborhood. It's like yours and Neal's. It's every family gets their own house with their name on the front side of the front lawn. um, so it's such an incredible feeling. But go ahead, you can talk about the room, Neal. I could talk forever about that place.
Sure. So my first introduction into the star room was pretty wild. We had rehearsed. It was our first year there, and for the folks who pay the extra money to be VIPs, they do get a tour, and included in the tour is a star room. And I heard people talking about it. I had no idea what it was. This is before performing, mind you. It's pretty intense. So Kelly and Ivone, Myers and the Mouse, who are a partner channel of Living in Diz and great friends, they go to me, do you want to go to the star room? I'm clueless. I have no idea where I am going, and nobody tells me. So I'm like, all right, let's go to the star room. I'm thinking, oh, this is going to be cool. Maybe there's games in there. It's Fun City. It's the star room, right?
Mm.
And walking, they're going. We just want to warn you, we could be very emotional in there, and we'll tell you about it when we get there. So we leave the stage area and we walk out of the building, and the star room is kind of in front of it. It takes about 2 or 3 minutes to walk there, and they open the door. I walk in and I look around, and all I see on the ceilings, on the walls, are these stars with names on it. Yes, Fly Girl, this place is in Florida. So I'm like, what the? So then Kelly and Ivone explained it to me. Now their child has a star up there. So you can only imagine for them
Mm-hmm.
what it feels like. And they explain it to me. Each star is a child or a family and the child who've been to the village. Now, when you walk through, it continues going back and back and back. They keep adding rooms, which is intense. They're adding rooms, right? Then they tell me, here's where they laid the bomb down on me. Many of these children are not here anymore. And I'm like, oh no. What? Like, I'm thinking, we're in the star room. This is a room of miracles. But at this moment, now I'm thinking to myself, children are no longer with us. Be it little babies, you know, in the middle,
Mm-hmm.
teens, they're no longer with us. And I'm just sitting there, I'm standing there, and I'm looking and I'm looking, and I'm just going, now I have to go out and perform. And all I could think of, to make myself get back to a place where I wouldn't make a total fool of myself in performing, was that whatever the scenario was for the family or the child, when that star was put up there, they were in the best place they could be during their lifetime. That the joy of being treated like everybody else, I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to use the word normal. I don't like the word normal. I was a special education teacher my whole career. I hate the word normal. Normal is what normal is to the person.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But they got the opportunity, like you said, Lawrence, to go in a swimming pool. They have special facilities for the swimming pool. They have rides. This is all on the grounds. So now, obviously, Kelly and Ivone saw my face, and they knew I was blown away. Uh, I was blown away. It takes a lot to blow me away.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it all. I've done a lot. This is intense. So, for those of you who have never been to the village or support it, if you live in the area, if you come on vacation, if you want to go to the village and, you can be a volunteer there, you might get your opportunity to go into the star room. Now, there were families in there when I went in there, and they were looking up at the stars, and they were like, they got a special way in the room. There's special, like, screens and all these things that, so when the kid's name or family is going to be put up there, they go through this whole process in the room. And they were doing that while I was just this person that right now was like falling apart. What is worse? Now, I will say this. I do know, for a nurse, a doctor who works in a ward for children, uh, who might have cancer, you know, it's a horrifying thing. but and the person who works at Give Kids the World, they see this regularly, and but for the regular person who just walks into this, like Cory sees things every day on his job that might shock us when he walks into somebody's home and sees conditions or the condition a person's in, and he tries to help them. If you do that on the regular, when you do that, you become accustomed to it and you acclimate to it,
Mm-hmm.
and your body
Mhm,
reacts
mhm.
differently. Your body reacts
Yes.
differently. Your mind reacts differently. You're more prepared for the possible tragic end to the story. You're more prepared. You know, uh, I was totally unprepared. When you go in there, this is the land of joy. I mean, it is. It is for people who can't experience a lot of things. That they send them to Disney if they want to go. They send them to Universal, whatever. That's all included in the money. They feed them. They have their own house. They so on every at every one of these. I say you want to call them a bungalow, small townhouse condo.
Mm-hmm.
The name of the family is put out there, so it's their home for their stay.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the first thing that blew me away, because we park in the back and then we walk or we take a golf cart, and you just start passing these houses with all these names on it. And you're like, what the heck is going on here? Do people live here? No, the families live here
Mm-hmm.
during their stay. And, you know, so the Star Room is intense. It's intense. You know, you just wish that everybody was still with us, and then no matter what you wish, unfortunately, it's not reality. So Kelly and I have walked me back in, and we talked about it, and they saw a little. I don't cry much. They saw a little tear coming out of my eye. I'm like, oh my goodness, but I'll never understand a world where beautiful children have to suffer.
Mm.
I can't. It's very difficult for me. I hate seeing anybody suffer. To be honest with you, my preference is that everybody get along. We all help each other, and man, just hope that the outcome is always good. But unfortunately, the outcome isn't always good. Obviously, I know that. I was a high school dean. For 33 years, I saw bad outcomes. But these are little children, and but now we go to the bright side. So I go back inside, right, and it's getting time to perform. And I'm talking to the guys about it. They didn't see it, and in the band, and they're blown away by what I'm telling them. I'm like, yeah, this is real. This is unbelievable. Like, there's stars as far as the eyes can see. Like Cory said, you look in the night sky, and we're in Florida, and you can see stars. We don't have the type of smog
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
that I saw in New York City. It's a different thing. You see stars here. No, 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 no. It's everywhere in these buildings. And once again, when they told me they're building another extension,
Mm.
I'm like, oh my goodness, how many kids? And just think about the kids that, don't even know about it and never get to go. I mean, and then there's all sorts of beautiful um, programs that do this stuff, obviously. The NFL partners, they do it. Disney does it. I mean, I know Alyssa watched the Disney special with Elton John the other night, and they brought families to Disney World, and there's always a situation, with either the child or their living conditions or whatever. So there's lots of groups that do it, but here you can get a personalized moment where, you know what? If you're not thankful for where you are in life and what you have, and if you have children and your children, they might get the sniffles, they might break a bone, you know, uh, maybe somebody will get appendicitis. If you go here, you will not say, why me, for long, because we're the lucky ones. You know, I mean, I'm watching Cory's children grow up. I'm watching Lawrence's child grow up. We're the lucky ones. Uh, and don't get me wrong. Every child, no matter what their lot is in life, I know the parent feels lucky when they're born. They do. But when we start grimacing and grumbling about what our kids are doing, and this and that, we have to always remember. And this place brings it right home. It could be a lot worse.
Mm.
And yeah, so now I go on stage, and we start playing, and of course, as a performer, let's talk about performing. As a performer, you're a professional. I've played thousands and thousands of times. So I go on the stage and we hit it and click. I don't get affected by the audience. I don't. I'm a professional. I don't get affected by the 2, 3, 4,000, 5,000 people watching in YouTube land. Doesn't bother me. We play music. My mind is a different place. Then Cory comes over and goes, "Oh yeah, Neal, you want to tell us about what you're thinking?" And this was the first time I saw the Star Room.
Mm.
Give me the microphone, and you can look back. And he says, and I say, you know, Kelly and Yvonne Myers just took me into the Star Room, and I felt my voice cracking. It's unbelievable what you are able to push away as a performer, but the second you think about it,
Hmm.
comes back to haunt you. And I'm like, and I could describe, my feelings, and how happy I was that everybody there was supporting this particular cause. And yeah, it was intense. It was intense. Go ahead, Lawrence. You must have more questions.
So, has it gotten easier since that first time you saw it?
So I went in one more time momentarily. Uh, I would probably say that the first visit was the one that really got to me. Uh, just going to the village is very emotional
Hmm.
because you pass the pool and you see these special devices they have to allow somebody who might be paralyzed, might not have use of their legs, their arms, whatever, uh, to be able to go into a pool. You see all that. Now, don't get me wrong, I've seen that in hotels also,
Sure.
but this is a different place. This is children oriented. It's different. Uh, they have the rides, and you see special accommodations for the rides, just like Disney makes on certain attractions.
Hmm.
Oh, I wanted to
So,
interject on that too.
sure.
Did you know that those are Disney rides? Imagineers are responsible for those rides that give kids the world.
Wow.
They help
Go
design the
ahead.
whole village.
Yeah.
There's a big connection between Disney and the village, a big connection. As a matter of fact, our own son, as a cast member, went and volunteered there. The Disney cast members go there regularly and help out. So it is a big connection. All right, so you come in and you know where you are. I mean, what are you going to do? You don't. Where do you see a place like this? I don't even know where. It's unbelievable. So
Mhm.
I saw somebody write that it's in Kissimmee. Yes, sure. I think Shirley wrote it. It is in Kissimmee, which is, uh, I mean, it's literally because where this is the road it's off of is Route 192. Route 192 was the route you took the year Disney opened to get to Disney World.
Yep.
And there were these like Days Inns and
Yep.
Holiday Inns and old world tourist traps and T-shirt places, Florida oranges. That's what was on Route 192, and that's what took you to Disney World. Now it's a whole different thing. I mean, you know, it, Route 192 blew up, but you very really, unless you really want to go check it out, you don't have to ever leave Disney.
Hmm.
But this is off of Route 192, and you go down this street. It's an unbecoming street. It's a residential neighborhood, and suddenly you drive up in this big wooden gated area, that goes way back far. They have a guardhouse. You got to get signed in. Then you go park, and like you're in a special place immediately. You're in a special place immediately. You see all this stuff. So whenever I go there, it is definitely an emotional situation for all of us. But I've adjusted, and no, I've got a lot to do here. I got a lot of playing, so I
Hmm.
can't let it mess with my mind. All I can do is stand up there with my horn, and when I play the best that I've ever played, that I could ever play in my life, just to give more of myself than when I'm making a lot of money. And it's what I try to do. I don't hold back. I just go for it and let it ride. And you'll see. Cory does it when he's singing. Josh does it when he's playing. And there is a difference between Josh and I. Josh is still teaching. He's not a professional musician like I am. Uh, I've been attacking this music now for a good month,
Hmm.
playing it over and over again. And we had a big rehearsal with Bob, and it all went great. And then we'll rehearse again the day of. We get there early, and just let you know what we do. We get there early, and the full rhythm section will be there. So when you're at a certain level of a musician, uh, it you don't have to rehearse numerous times. It's not like amateurs or kids getting together. It, you know, it's more of just, okay, here's the music. This is what we're going to play, but we have to go over the arrangements to
Hmm.
make sure that everybody knows where to go. Okay, where are solos? How do we end it? There's certain things in the music, repeats, signals, codicines, DSs, delsenos. These are all musical terms that we go over to make sure everybody knows where to go, so that at the show we don't mess up. And we did that last night with Bob, and everything was beautiful. Uh, Bob's a great guy. For any of you who've seen Yeehaw Bob, you know Yeehaw Bob from Riverside, but you don't know Bob as Bob.
Mm.
Bob is an incredibly talented, loving, nurturing, cool as heck dude. I mean, when the hat comes off, and those big shoes and the yellow pants aren't on, he's just Bob, and Bob is a special person. So I just want you to remember that about Bob, because I know a lot of you have seen him do his show, and it's a great show. Yeah, I mean, what's better than seeing Bob lift the piano with his knees, over and over again? Let me tell you something. He's lifting the piano with his knees. There's no trick there. It's not a seesaw. It's not like one of those horses that your kids went on No, he's lifting the piano with his legs. Bob is a grown gentleman. I will not give years. If you want to know his age, you could go see his show. He'll tell you. But Bob has been around just like me. And he's a sweetheart. And he takes this really serious. And the other gentlemen playing take it really serious. And hopefully on the 14th, you will hear that. There's some great stuff that's coming up. Hi, Court. Hey, Benjamin.
And how long would you say you guys play for that night?
Oh, this is going to be a long show. I mean, oh goodness gracious. Now, well, I'm not gonna get into it. It's a long show.
Okay.
I mean, I'm playing.
So it's like a variety show, right? So you start with
Yes,
some music, you work a story in from Nate, then back to
sure.
music and an interview.
Uh,
So it's all constantly changing.
There's numerous songs that will be sung. There's some surprises,
okay.
and there's some things where I promise you. Hi, Kristen. I promise you, and I want to strike. Make sure you all understand this. It doesn't matter whether you bought a plane ticket and a ticket to come to give kids the world. If you're watching on YouTube and you make a donation and you get to enjoy it, even the replay, yes, Disney, Erin, it will be on numerous times and there will be an opportunity to donate even after we're done. The final count doesn't happen. I think Cory keeps it open for another 2 or 3 weeks. Hi, Michelle the Quilter. How are you? Michelle is another.
Um,
There's a lot of friends in here, Lawrence, that we know from Pete McDevitt and all that are popping in. So
Love,
it's nice to see them also.
love it. Absolutely.
yeah, and earlier Neal was mentioning, where we'll be live streaming good old Mr. Cobra Kai, Ralph Macchio, Miyagi Do. Um, Throughout, I was talking to Lawrence about this. So throughout the stream, we will make sure at least every hour, probably more than
Sure.
that, we will be mentioning what's happening over there on Cory's channel. We'll put the link in so people can go over and they can go between us and them. Um, if they want to run two devices, they're welcome to do that. Or if they just want to go and watch Cory, that's fine. That's fine. It's a special night. And if we can make it so that we can put the link up too, they can donate straight through that too. So we'll be supporting from Epcot too.
Well,
Excellent.
I'll be producing the live stream from here in the studio, so I'm already running some things in my head to be able to do.
Listen. You, I have an idea. I have a wonderful, horrible idea.
So
I know what you're thinking. Can I take a guess?
go ahead.
Why don't we pull that in here and there, and
Yes,
people can see Neal
that's right.
perform?
Yeah. And certainly to have the link in, and I mean, it's our friends up there, Neal, and everybody knows Cory Meets World and Resort TV1, Josh and Bob, which I will have the pleasure of seeing for the first time in person in January. So looking forward to that for sure. Because I've seen the two of you live stream it, and just looks like it's so much fun. And my brother will be there. Actually,
Oh,
two of my brothers will be there.
gotta be.
Uh,
Neal
Well,
needs to
now
come to
I'm
that.
thinking.
Neal needs to come to that.
Well, you're going to have to let me know when it is. Uh, I got a couple of things to do in January. Nothing major. You'll let me know when it is, and I'll let you know if we can go.
okay.
And I would love to see you know your brother there and your son, absolutely.
Yep.
And if I could get to Hollywood Studios before, I will come packing Wookie cookies.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. And what was I gonna say? It'll be like the Wednesday or Thursday, most likely after New Year's. So we're all going. Tammy's gonna see him for the first time. Jacob. So Yeah, you got to come along. It's going to be a party.
Okay, now while we're live, so that's January. Uh, the I'm performing. What is this here? January 9th, which is a Thursday. It's not a Thursday, right?
No, we're talking like what, Lawrence? The
Like this.
second or the third?
Okay. Well, if that's the case, hopefully we're pretty clear.
Cool.
I'll just
Okay.
confirm with the boss. We all have the boss. The boss is inside watching TV right now,
Uh-huh.
and now I will. You see, I'm remiss because I've never said this before. Standing there live, I give kids the world when I talk about what I think about it. I never say, and I don't understand myself right now. I thought about this yesterday. I never say anything about Alyssa. And the truth of the matter is, every night since we got married, even on our honeymoon, because I bring my trumpet everywhere, and we might be in a hotel room. Of course, I'll play with a mute in the trumpet. I practice.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get a lip like this unless you play. This is not normal. Uh, my, Mrs. Rosen did not create, and Mr. Rosen did not create this lip. It's from the
Thought that
trumpet, and
might
I
have been from
do
living
all
in
the
New
time.
York, dealing with some troublemakers. Bep, bep, bep.
No. Yeah, as a matter of fact, you'll laugh. I'll tell you a story about this, but I'll just quickly say it now. But when we were alone, I'll tell you a real story. I was involved in a situation where kids were doing the wrong thing in the bathroom, and I'm talking about what things that are legal in New York right now,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And they heard us knocking on the door, and one of them pushed the door, and literally his arm went into my mouth and busted open my lip, and I had to play that night. I was so angry at this kid. It took a miracle for me to keep my hands in my pocket. Blood was coming down my face onto my shirt. The kid busted my lip open by smashing the door. And man, I the principal saw me. I was livid. I was like, my lip. This has never happened to me in my life. Luckily, I iced it when I got home, and I got through the gig. But it did happen one time where I got my lip busted only once.
Mm.
This is a strong lip here, and he hit me hard. But obviously, we have survived. It's funny. It's not just the top lip; it's the bottom lip also. If you see this mark right here, it's just wherever the mouthpiece goes, and I'll show you. We're talking music.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could play a little bit for you, but I can't. The microphone, gets overwhelmed. But
Right.
so this is the trumpet. This piece of metal goes right here. Now, this whole area is being attacked by this piece of metal. Now, many of you will say, "Oh, I did this and I did that, oh my, I cut my hand, oh my, I stepped on a nail with my foot." And I will say to you, I understand that because that's happened to me also. But for a brass player, we spend our entire lives sticking a piece of metal on our lips. The lips, it's the softest tissue that you have that's exposed. So when you wonder, like if you see me on the stream or whatever, and you go, "Look at Neal's lips, he's got funny lips." Well, I will say Alyssa loves them. Alyssa loves. She said my funny lips attracted her to me, so I'm glad I have them actually.
I've never looked at your lips as long as I have today.
Well, I've been
It
practicing
looks
a
a
lot.
little bit like the figure on your shirt right there. like a parrot. Like it just kind of comes down at the
Oh,
top, like a little
on
baby
this side.
beak.
Now, well,
Yeah.
now back to Alyssa. So I am remiss to say I've never thanked the most important person besides mom, because she's been there from the beginning. From 4 years old, when I took my father's trumpet out of the closet. My dad's been gone since I'm 25. Uh, but mom's been there the whole time. When my parents had nothing, nothing, they put money aside to pay for trumpet lessons for that ungrateful son. That's what parents do. But what does Alyssa do? We will be married 30 years in April. I come into this office, I play the heck out of this trumpet. You folks would probably go, "Oh my God, what the heck is going on in that room?" I'm blowing the trumpet at volume levels that definitely have knocked some paint off the walls. It's how I play. I can play mellow and play a ballad, but many times I'm hired to play what they call lead trumpet.
Hmm.
And lead trumpet in the music, the notes can be very loud, very high, and you have to play them with precision. The only way for me to do that is to practice really hard in the house. And that's what I do. I practice the heck out of the trumpet. And Alyssa is in that room now. We did go ahead. I bought her a system for the TV that can be very loud. It's the JBL Bar 1000. It's intense. It's got like multiple wattage, and the subwoofer is huge, and she turns that sucker up so she doesn't have to hear me. But just imagine how loud. Hi, Disney James USA 78. Great to see you.
Thank you.
Uh, could you just to have to turn it up to that volume? She deserves the Medal of Honor. So this year, I will remember to thank my wife, who will be there. My children aren't here anymore. They dealt with it also.
Mm,
You know, uh, thank goodness the house is quiet enough from the outside where the police have never come to my door. I guess either the neighbors don't hear it or they like what they're hearing. So
I've
you
asked
never.
you this before. I've asked you this before, and some people might be wondering this, so I'll ask it again. Um, I always say, why don't you just wake up and practice? Like, if that's a task that you do, and of course, it's not a task because you love it. But why? If I were you, I would like roll out of bed and do it, and then it's done for the day. So
Here's the
why do you
reason.
do it so late? And especially after a Disney night, right? Who wants to do anything after that?
Sure. Here is the reason. I'm extremely paranoid that during the day, if somebody's working from home, if their children are home, they have little children, and they're outside, they're going to be hearing whatever they're hearing. And when I'm playing later, I know the kiddies are going to sleep already. Chances are, uh, I kind of look around the windows. I know that one neighbor's like, I'm not. My room, my office is completely opposite of one neighbor's. The other neighbor, I believe it's their bathroom that's over
mm.
here, and there's no bedrooms. So I just figure it's better to play at night than during the day. But I will go ahead and sometimes play during the day. Uh, it depends. Yeah, listen, I'm being completely honest with all of you. There's times, and Alyssa's seen it happen to me. There's times, yes, we go to Disney with Cory, and it's 100 degrees, and we stay all night, and we come home. I sit down. I got to go to the computer. I'm looking for music to record, and it's about, I'd say, at that point, 11, a little after 11, and I open my eyes, and it's 12:30. And I say, "Oh no, I I I completely passed out. I passed out." So I'll drink some water. Now I have my second, third, fourth win, and I'll get down to playing it. I'll play stuff, and I tell my friends I was sleeping when I played this. When I recorded this, I was sleeping. They don't believe me. I'm like, I fell asleep. Hi, Josh R. And you know, I wake up and I get back into it. I'll smack myself in the face a couple of times, drink the water, and go for it. So it's kind of, believe me, I would love to play during the day also. But you have to remember, Alyssa and I do go out a lot.
Hmm.
We go out a lot, I mean, and we go to, well, we go to Disney a lot. So we do get home late. Today, I mean, I could have practiced earlier today, but I'm with you guys. So I'll get into the practicing after I'm done with this, and I'm also doing some other stuff. Like, this is a busy week. So tomorrow I have a rehearsal for another thing I'm doing. Then I'm playing with a band on Thursday. I'm playing with a band on Friday. I'm doing another thing on Saturday, and the thing I'm doing on Saturday is huge. It's huge. It's it's a church thing, and it's all Latin music in this amazing place. Well, I brought back the best bagels from New York. Josh R, I saw you write that to me in the chat when Cory was live. Yes. Where did you get the bagels, Josh R? Give me a name. Give me an area. Let's see if I know where you were. Hey, James West. James, yes, I'm performing again this year. They brought me back. I think they like me, James.
Sharon wants to know, what do you do with the recordings?
What do I do with the recordings? Okay. Uh, it's very interesting. Because I am not, you have to understand, I'm recording 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night. I am not going to film myself recording when I look beat, half asleep, and ready. You know, I got the shadow happening. I look terrible. So on Instagram, in order for me to post, which is why I haven't posted in so long, Lucas has to help me with this, and whenever he says, I'll get him. I know I'm going to get him this. He's coming home for Christmas, so I'll get him. You have to post a video of some sort with the music. You just can't post the music.
Hmm.
I can't post it, Sharon, in the mod chat. It doesn't work. I wish it did. I have links to Dropbox. You know what? I will try that for the mods. I will try and send a link, because I was using Box originally. I'm using Dropbox now, and you guys will let me know if the link works. So what I do, though, is I have about 20 to 25 friends and family members uh, who I know listen to the music and love it all the time. So I individually, every day, and I have to do it today, sit there, and Allison is one of the people. I send each one of them to their specific number to text, and it takes a while, but I send those tunes out that I do at night and let them hear, and hopefully they're enjoying it. It makes their day better. I know I send it to a bunch of my mom's friends, and they love the music. So it's more, to tell you the truth, Sharon. It's more to make me play better, because one thing that you can never hide is when you're playing into a microphone and somebody's recording it. Every little nuance, every little, uh, every little thing that might be wrong. Ah, Brooklyn Bagel and Coffee Company. Cool, cool. Wait. I'm looking. Bagel Supreme. There you go. There you go. All right. So, but every little gaffe that you make, it's just like it's out there on the recording, and you hear it, and you know. So it's to my benefit, actually, and I, I I've upgraded a lot. In my studio, I just ordered a new microphone that's for live and recording that I'm waiting to get, and it's my practice. It's how I practice. I practice scales. I practice, from books and all. But in the end, to play in front of people, you have to play real music. Uh, to know whether you play real music well or not, you have to record yourself. Now, I don't push myself crazily to play live in Orlando. In New York, I played. I played every week. I played sometimes during the week, at night after school, and I played on the weekends. Here, I'm not doing that anymore. It's just different, I've done it all, and I've been asked to play at Disney, and I'm not patting myself on the back at all. This is a fact. I have all the trumpet players in Disney are my friends. I play with them in other situations. I do not want to play in Disney. I love Disney with my past, with my wife, with my kids, and with my friends. That's why we go to Disney. I don't want to go to Disney wearing a marching band outfit and do that. Although I would love to do it, and be part of that, and say, "Oh, look what I did." It just doesn't make me. Nothing makes me really want to do it. And let's be real. I do not want to play in 95, 100-degree heat.
Mm.
I don't know how they do it. They amaze me, and there are phenomenal musicians here. Just so you all know, these other friends of mine are great, great musicians. But for me, because I'm not playing live all the time now, this week it's crazy. I I will practice, and I yeah, it's my happy place. The flugelhorn is here. Hold on, Theo, it's right here. Here it is. It's here, and you'll hear it at Give Kids a World at the Magical Night of Hope. The Magical Night of Hope, the flugelhorn will be there.
Mm.
Hi, kid. How are you? And for those of you who have watched, and I got yelled at by Alyssa last year uh, because the camera came to me and I'm sitting there texting, and I'm not texting. I was in the live chat saying hi to all my friends and all the people that were watching, and she said, "Oh, you look stupid. You're on your phone." I said, "I got, they're saying hi. I have to say hi back. I can't not say hi back. How can I not say hi back? So if I look like I'm texting, I'm certainly not ordering anything on Amazon." No, I'm talking to Theo. I'm talking to Kit. If Stephanie's there, I'm talking to Stephanie. Benjamin, if you'll be there, I hope to be able to answer you. Uh, you know, Alyssa, Elissa, whoever is there. Hi, Alyssa Stenberg. Whoever is there, Alicia, if you're watching, if I don't see you writing, I promise you, if you are watching, you know, I couldn't be happier. I couldn't be happier. But like I said, and I will always put this in there, this disclaimer: Cory is going live, and Ralph Macchio, the Karate Kid, will be doing the Christmas story, and many of my friends are playing at the candlelight,
Mm.
and they all asked me to do it, and I said, no, I'm not doing it. Uh, I'll go watch it. We saw Anne Margaret last year, but I won't. I don't want to go to Epcot, and the point of me being in Epcot
Is to
is
work.
to make money. Yeah, it's to work and make money. No, no, that's not what it's about.
Hmm.
I go to Epcot to have fun.
Yeah.
And although playing music is super fun, it's obviously you're working, like you just said, Lawrence. You're working. Then look what it does. It makes it hard. Robbie works for the company. And you know, when you work for the company, like I know a lot of people that work for the company, more than most, and many cast members have come to Alyssa in my house for special occasions, and you know, I would assume that their view changed from point A when they were just visiting and loving Disney to point B where you collect a paycheck and you have a boss telling what you have to do. You know when you're working, it's different. So my preference is to just go ahead and do my thing. Kit, it is December 14th. I believe it's 6 o'clock p.m. Excuse me. Kit, you can go on Instagram and other places and look up Magical Night of Hope and get all the information. Oh, Kit had some snow showers. Oh, now you were talking about snow at the beginning. Hold on, hold
Yeah.
on. So okay, being a former New Yorker, just like Cory, I did not take one snow shovel, which was a mistake. I should have taken a shovel because I ended up needing it for gardening, for a little gardening that I couldn't do. I had to dig something up. I had to buy one at Lowe's or Home Depot, but I had this snow blower. It was this big orange giant. It was an Ariens snowblower, and it could it could do the sidewalk. If there was 2 feet of snow, and it could shoot it across the street onto your neighbor's house. That's how powerful it was. It was a big gas thing. And one of my favorite days was when I sold it. I used it 3 times. My favorite
I
days
hear that
was when
one.
I sold it, and I lost $1,200 on it. I lost $1,200. I sold it for $800 cash. I lost $1,200 on it. I didn't care, and I gave away all my snow blowers. I gave away a whole bunch of tools. We just couldn't move with all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And why would you? No need.
Yeah. Yes.
You talked about the boys. Did they play instruments when they were growing up?
Well, yes, and now you have to remember, Daddy's a musician, but he's also I was a teacher, an educator. The life of a musician is not an easy one.
Mm-hmm.
So Robbie started on the trumpet. He did. He didn't last long. He liked singing better, so he went to singing, and he actually sang all through college in a cappella groups. And Alyssa and I went to see him. It was pretty neat. Lucas, he got involved in music, and he played percussion and the drums, and he kind of gave it up after we called it junior high school, but middle school.
Mm-hmm.
It's middle school on Long Island also. He gave it up. You know, he's a very cerebral individual. Now, do I care? I'd much prefer my kids to be professionals than to do the life of a musician. It's very difficult. I
Yeah.
have many friends who are phenomenal, but all they do is music and they struggle. You've heard the stories about the struggling musicians.
Yeah.
Not everybody is Michael Jackson. Not everybody is Michael Bublé. Not everybody is Madonna. Not everybody, is
Neal.
Ariana
Body's
Grande.
Neal.
Yeah. I mean, look what Ariana Grande has turned into. She's Glinda in Wicked. And the rumor is they paid her like $15 million. So, I mean, for some, it's very lucrative, but for others, and it also depends on the genre.
Mhm.
If you're a jazz musician, how many people listen to jazz? It's a limited group, and it's tough. It's tough. Sharon says you can leave New York, but New York never leaves you. Former Brooklyn Queens girl here. There you go.
Yeah, those of you in
Now,
chat, let us know what instrument you played growing up. I played the clarinet for about 2 days.
there you go.
That was it. I was like, nope, not for me. I wanted to learn the piano, but I was not coordinated enough to use both hands. Just couldn't
You
do
know,
it.
Yeah,
the piano,
okay. I was just
Now
gonna
go.
say I played the trumpet like Jacob, and Jacob and I probably lasted about the same amount of time. I don't know if I lasted more than 2 or 3 weeks with it. Just wasn't patient, but I instead wanted to do the drums, but, in public school, you got what you got, and whoever got selected for the other instruments, that's who got it. Maybe I could have spoken up, but, um, I I would rather have played the drums, but as I got older and I just never wanted to put the work in, but I wish I could play keyboards. I'm infatuated by the violin. I just think that's such a cool instrument. Um, but it's never too late.
Hmm.
Who knows? Retirement.
No, it is never too late. And I forget who I was talking to. Somebody, said, "Oh, I could never play the trumpet." And I was like, "Listen, I can get you to make a sound on the trumpet. I can promise you that. You might not be, Miles Davis. You might not be, Doc Severinsen, Maynard Ferguson, or whatever, but I could get you to play the trumpet.
All right. All
I
right. All right.
promise."
Bring it to the verbo. Bring it to the verbo. Let's give it a try.
Now, I did teach music. All right, Hannah played violin in grade school. Hi, Tiffany. Grandma Grover plays the piano. We know
Oh
that.
wow.
Yep, yep. And she was a church organist for over 50 years. Yeah,
Hmm.
Grandma Grover has some talent. That's for sure. Let's see. What did we miss? Court on Main Street tap dance. That's really nice. Uh, so I Pamela V played guitar, violin, and sang in the school group. Opa, Pamela, Opa.
Neil, if there was another instrument that you wanted to play, what would it be?
If there was another instrument, okay, you're going to crack up. There's two instruments. Now, I did play guitar. I can teach beginning guitar. Okay, so I can teach first position guitar. Remember, I was a high school teacher for many years.
Mm-hmm.
I taught the band class where I taught, kids how to play saxophone, drums, guitar, you name it, you know. But if you've heard me play, like when I start getting crazy, I feel like if I had an electric guitar in my hand, I'd be one of those shredding, wailing guitarists that would just blow people away. That's what I believe. Like I've gone and battled with guitarists on my trumpet. Now remember, a guitar is electronic,
Mm-hmm.
okay? You use your fingers, but you use a pick.
Yeah.
You're not using this. And I've taken on some great guitarists
Mm.
and shredded them with the trumpet. Now, the other thing that I think a personality like mine is, I would the drums. Like I know, and the thing with the drums, the piano. I'll tell you the real difficult instruments. The piano is very difficult because you're reading not just a melody, you're reading multiple notes, and Grandma Grover knows what I'm talking about. On the staff, the musical staff, it's the same as manuscript paper that we write on, but that's the musical staff. It's manuscript paper for musicians. So there's multiple staffs, and you're playing in different clef signs, which are different registers. There's the treble clef or G clef. There's the bass clef. And you have to be able to play the piano and the drums, separate a certain part of your brain so that when your eyes are looking, your left hand and your right hand are doing two separate things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? That's the fact. You can't just look at it and go, oh, look, and go like this, like people playing hot cross buns. No, no, no. When you really play piano, you multiple lines,
Yeah.
and that's a tough thing. Now the Josh R, you know that. Uh, the violin itself, it's an instrument that has no frets. For those of you who've seen a guitar and you look at that long neck, the fingerboard on that guitar, there are frets, metal bars. Well, that tells you where the note is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in the violin or the viola or the cello or the bass, the contrabass, there's no frets. So you've got to stick your finger on that string and know exactly where that note is, and it's in tune.
Right.
It's a murderous instrument to play. Murderous. So, and the drums now, everybody, oh, let's bang the drums. Your left foot, your right foot, your right hand, and your left hand are doing something totally different
Yeah.
at all times. It's a gift to be able to do that. Maybe if you start out young, it's easy. Yeah, I could sit down at the drums and I could hit the bass drum straight, just boom, 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 and hit the hi-hat or the ride cymbal and hit the snare drum and play in time. But when you start getting into stuff where your left foot and right foot have to do something different, my right foot and left foot do the same thing no matter what I do. Now, it's funny because if you're driving a car, we don't even think about what our left and right foot do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because from the day we got behind that wheel, it's been drilled into us that this is what you do. Your right foot goes from the gas to the brake so naturally. And for some
Mm-hmm.
people, they actually use the right and left foot, which freaks me out. I've seen people use the left foot to brake, you know? So, it's another thing where the brain is so wild that it can pick up on this stuff. Uh, Wild, wild stuff. And so there are some very difficult instruments. Now, what is difficult about the trumpet? I'll tell you. Josh is playing sax, James.
Mm-hmm.
The Wild Wild West is in the chat. So the trumpet. Now Cory gave up, and unfortunately Jacob gave up quickly. It's not easy to produce a sound. It's not. Unlike a saxophone, which has a reed, and if you bite down hard enough and you blow, you'll make a sound. It might be atrocious, but you could get a sound out of it. The piano, the one great thing about a piano, although it's really difficult, you press the key, you make a sound. You pick up the trumpet, and it's the funniest thing. You'll see people go, and they take the mouthpiece and they go, and you hear like this farting sound, and they try for a minute, and they say, I can't do this. I can't do this. It's nobody has patience anymore on earth. Patience is gone. It's out the window. We
Yeah.
can't wait online for a ride. And so the heck, how are we going to wait to get a sound on the trumpet? So the trumpet now you start off sounding like garbage, but just like anything that you get good at, if you have to have that gift, right? You know, uh, a great quarterback didn't just suddenly pick up the football and you know be great. They practice, but we know that in the genes somewhere there's some greatness that was meant for them. Otherwise, if it was that simple, everybody would be
Everybody
great.
would do it. Yep.
Everybody would be the best. Everybody would be the best. Cory wouldn't throw his favorite quarterback at me all the time, Mr. Brady. No, but he had a gift. He had a gift. We got to be real. There's people that are born with gifts in certain things. Uh, Now, as far as hi Ross and found, uh, try and understand, and as a former teacher, retired, giving up is easy. It's easy to give up. It's very difficult to move forward. You know, uh, you're in a classroom, and let's say it's 50-50. 50% of the people want to strive to do better. 50% of the people don't care. Well, the 50% that's striving to do better, if they look at the 50% down there and say, well, they're getting a 65, they're passing. Why should I strive to do better? And they go that way. They've been influenced by the dark side. Now, the 50% that see the people striving to do better, the 50% that aren't doing as well, if they have it inside them to say, darn, if they can do it, why can't I? And push themselves and get help, they might then cross the line and maybe 80% or 90%, and with a little luck, 100% of them become strivers and overachievers. We're not all given the same gift, but that does not mean we don't have the ability to achieve. Everybody's curve is different.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's curve is different, man. I mean, yeah, you might look at me and say, man, look at that guy play. He's amazing. That's my curve, and I have to strive to get better. And I do. But for the person who's at a lower level, their learning curve, and whatever their learning curve is, if they can get just a little bit better and a little bit better, you fight the little battles to win the war. You can't win the war in a day or 2 days or 3 days. So I truly believe that each and every one of you in this chat, no matter what level you're at, yeah, Ellis Marsalis is great. And his brother Winton is great also. But I truly believe, oh, Tiger Girl played the bass. That's great.
Wow.
I truly believe that everybody has the potential to do more than they believe they can do. And that would definitely be a musical instrument also. I've said it before, never ever give up. When you give up, you lose. I
Yep.
don't like to lose. I don't give up. So play. If you had a guitar in your house, pull that guitar out. If you have drums, bang the drums. Who cares what it sounds like? Put it in the garage and jam along with Led Zeppelin. Rock out, make some noise and have fun.
So, is there anything else we should know about Give Kids the World? We know it's December 14th, Saturday, December 14th. It will be live streamed. I think we're going to probably do some cut-ins while Cory's at Epcot. We will certainly post the link so that you can give back. I believe that YouTube has it set up. We'll check that, where you can do it directly through YouTube, and all the money goes to the charity. So, but I will confirm that first. Is there anything else that we should know about Give Kids the World and Magical Night of Hope?
Yes. You should know, once again, whether you're there or you're watching on YouTube, I want you to know this is me, and I'm sure it's the other guys also, but I can only talk for myself. I will play my heart out for you. And I so appreciate your support. Okay? When Alyssa and I are with Cory, in the parks, I feel the same way. When you guys are here and you're here for my friend, there's nothing better for me. At that moment, there's nothing better. For this particular event, the Magical Night of Hope, I can't say to any of you, oh, you've got to donate. Oh, blah, blah, blah. They need them. Listen, watch. If you can't, if life isn't where you're at the point where you can go ahead and watch and enjoy. see what it's all about. For those of you who live here, you can go to the village. You might want to go ahead and do something for them. They'll always take volunteers. But please, I know Cory is live. If you can't be there live, it's going to be posted and you can see it. Now, as far as me posting my music, I'm not here to promote myself. I'm not a promoter. I I don't promote Neal. I don't promote Alyssa and Neal when we're with Cory on Living in Diz. We are just two people who enjoy doing what we're doing. That's all we are. I don't promote me, but I will say if you watch, you will motivate me more than anything you know. Believe me, the motivation I get just from going live with Cory and any of you acknowledging me that I'm there. I mean, sometimes you put my picture and Alyssa's picture up there. I'm like, I don't understand. I've told you that before. I don't understand. You know, but Alyssa and I are just there because we love Cory and his family. That's it. Ain't nothing more. I don't want anything else. Nothing. Nothing. Hopefully we could be there for a long time, you know, and have fun. But this particular event, it's once a year. And if I know and I look at my phone and I see some of you in there, when I go up to play, I am going to play the heck out of that horn. And I'm going to make you proud of me for what I'm doing. And I will tell you this, because we always say that all of you, now let's see, there's 62 of you here, are our friends and how close we all are. I'm doing this for the kids and the family. I'm doing it for you, my friends. So if you can donate, you donate. If you can't, don't feel bad, because I'm there and I'm doing it for you. I'm giving of myself for those of you who can't give. I want you to understand that. Never feel embarrassed if you're not in a position to give. Ever. Just being there and being there for us is more than we can ask. That's it. Hi, Roxanne. Okay, so just keep that in mind. All right? So don't ever feel, oh, I can't watch, oh, Harry just gave Living in Diz a PayPal and I can't do it. I can't. No, 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 no. You watch because you're still doing something. You're there
Yep.
and your
There's
presence
different
is
ways to
felt.
support. Yes,
Yes,
there's
your
different ways to
presence is
support.
felt. Yes, and like I said, I'll go out there and I'm playing for myself. I'm playing for those families in the star room, for the people that are in the room and the people that are on YouTube. And if you're there, I'll know you're there. So it's going to be a great night. I can promise you. A
Now,
great night.
we only have, after this show, we have 2 shows left. And then Cory and I are done. No, we we hit 500. No,
Announcement.
so we have 2 shows left in the season. Next week with Heist Piano, and then the following week really is our Christmas show, the 17th. Last year we got a Neal tune. Actually, we got 2 Neal
You didn't
tunes.
get copyrighted for them. He played it
Yes.
so well, we got copyrighted for it.
I couldn't believe it. I don't understand this. It's a vocal tune. I tell you what, this year, what I will do is I will make sure you can't get copywritten. I
Oh, it's
am going
okay.
to
Do
no,
whatever you want.
I am going to go ahead and record with 0 background. Now, if I could find on one of the when you use music as a background, if I could find some music, that will not create a problem, a background, I will use that. But otherwise, I will just pick up my horn and solo a couple of tunes and send them to Cory and Lawrence. And you'll have to excuse me that there would be no background music. I am not a piano player. I do not have a piano in my house. So I do use, tracks when I'm recording, not what I'm playing. No, that's
Mhm,
Neal playing.
mhm.
I can promise you. Uh, but I will definitely get a couple of tunes in there for sure. For
That would be
sure. And
awesome.
yes, now I know I'm working Wednesday night. I know
Tomorrow?
I'm working tomorrow night. I'm working Saturday night. The following week, you're not blocked yet, right?
Oh no, that doesn't happen till Christmas week.
Okay. So once we get through this week, you will probably see Alyssa and I with Cory on that Wednesday, as long as nothing shocking occurs. And don't ever think that because you don't see us, we're not with you. And to be honest with you, Saturday we were going to go with Cory and Tammy and Shirley. Uh, I don't know how I did it, but thank goodness it's better now. Uh, I blew out my right knee bad. I couldn't even step down on it. I couldn't bend it to tie my shoes. I couldn't. Sleeping was virtually impossible. I iced it and iced it and iced it and iced it. Michelle, all of you, don't ever thank me. You just being here, all of you, and supporting my friends here. That's all I could ever ask. I don't need any thanks. Believe me, I appreciate it. Uh, just appreciate the people who work hard for you. You know, uh, this channel, the podcast, Lawrence and Cory, Living in Diz, Tammy, Cory, Jacob and Jillian, and our friends that are going to be doing Magical Night of Hope. You'll see them all. Primarily Cory, but there are other people that will be there. If you want to see uh, Dale, if you want to see Jenna, they will be there. You want to see Kelly and Ivone, they will be there. They all have integral parts. There is something to say. I am sorry. The silent auction is currently happening for Magical Night of Hope, and
Okay.
yeah, I can't post it obviously. Hi, Purple Pleasure. See now, if Lawrence's mom pops in, or if Cory's mom pops in on the 14th, that'll even give me more incentive to play better. Believe me, seeing them is always great. I've met Lawrence's mom. I haven't met Cory's mom yet. Hopefully that will happen one of these days. We also, hey, Steve. And Steve and his family we've met. But how many of you have seen the ads for the silent auction? There's so many great things, and I know all of you know the people who've donated. Victor donated a whole bunch of great stuff, but Steve from Steve's World has paintings. There's dinner with Cory and Steve at the Olive Garden, which Cory hates. There's so many cool things there. So if you can go on Instagram, uh, I don't know how else. I guess it might. I don't have Facebook. It might be on Facebook. Uh, Check your social media. There's some great things, and you could get a great deal. There's a night at the Animal Kingdom that's up for grabs, and it's all a silent auction. You just put in your number.
Hmm.
Thank you, Allison. Allison, I love you. You know that. Um, and has seen them. Uh, and it's going to be great. I have to tell you, Ann Gilnack is coming. And there's Brenda. Great to see you, Brenda. Hopefully, one of these days you'll make it down to the land of oranges and sunshine. And we could hook up. That would be great. That would be great. Yeah, but if you want, you should try your best, uh, and check this stuff out. There's amazing things to bid on, and right now the prices are really low. So get your bids in now. Telling you, I will try and let me see if I could forward it to the guys. Oh,
I
you know
got it.
what? Okay, great. All right, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
I just put the link into the chat. It's magicalnightofhope.com. You'll go on there and you'll see silent auction right at the top, or it says live auction. And then underneath, if you were going to go and join Ann Gilnack, excuse me, you can buy your tickets there. But the live auction button is there right at the very top of the page. There's pizza for a week.
Oh, it's intense. It's great
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, mini golf at Disney with Cory and Stephanie. 15-minute Zoom call with Cory Meets World. Dinner with Steve and Cory, as he said. There's a Jafar painting by Steve. Yeah, there's quite a few options in there, and all of that goes towards. Oh, there's some shirts that would fit well on the DIZPod. So
There's Roosevelt's.
Ah,
They got a
yeah,
bunch of Roosevelt's.
yeah.
Yes.
Quite a few. So yeah, there's some pretty cool stuff in there. A lot of artwork that's original. Some reproductions. There's the original Lego castle, Disney Castle, which is up there. Well, this is the retired one, so maybe it's not the one I have. But yeah, there's plenty of stuff in there. Check it out. And like I said, it all goes to the charity. So
It's a big thing. There's a lot of stuff, and like I said, try and get it in early. And I do believe that after we talked last night, I can't say 100%, but I do believe you might be able to get a phone call with Josh also. That's going to be up for grabs. There's a whole bunch of things there, but once again, I'll clarify: do you
yeah,
have to do this? Absolutely not.
yeah,
But you should look just for the fun of it. All of you, you'll find it very interesting.
yeah, yeah. Very, very cool.
That's about it.
we should donate. I don't know, sitting at Hollywood Studios and eating a Wookiee cookie with Neal. I mean, I would do that. I would do that for charity.
You know,
I also put a link in too. I think that one is only good for today, where it will double your donation. So
yes,
if you are donating, you can always go ahead and click that link, and they'll double your donation.
yes. Now that will not go into the total for Magical Night of
Right.
Hope, but because today is a special day, it was online. I saw that also, and I
Mhm.
got emails from them also. But we donate when Donna does her thing, which we did already, and we'll donate again that night. That's when we do it.
Very.
Anything else, guys?
I
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, do you want to do a couple? There were a couple announcements I just wanted to quickly talk about. I don't have a scene for it or anything. But Disney announced Test Track 3.0 opening in late summer and sponsored by General Motors, not Chevy. So they're going back to not that it's not the same company, but I think it's kind of interesting that they're using the GM name instead of Chevy.
So let me ask you a question now. The cars that are outside that we saw, I know there's a Corvette,
Mm-hmm.
Blazer. What? I don't think there was a GMC.
Nope.
No, it's all Chevy there still.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. So they're going retro because GM sponsored World of Motion.
Yeah.
Okay, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I mean, maybe they'll throw a Cadillac out there and they'll talk about the, self-driving of it and all that kind of stuff. I'm assuming they're going to do a post-show similar to what they had in Test Track. So we'll see. They also announced the nighttime parade. Disney Starlight now has the nighttime parade has a name, Disney Starlight Dream the Night Away. And that will open in summer of 2025. The show, the villain show over at Hollywood Studios, is going to be Disney Villains Unfairly Ever After, also opening in summer of 2025. So it is going to be very, very busy at the parks this summer, I believe.
All right. I got one hot off the presses. Guess what's not closing imminently? That was supposed to close imminently.
I know
In
this
animal.
because Jacob told me just before I went live. Do you want me to say it or you?
You go ahead. Go ahead. Show them your knowledge.
Dinosaur, the ride dinosaur, the attraction dinosaur over there in Animal Kingdom will be open well into 2026.
There you go. 2 more
Yes.
years.
Yeah.
So
You
why did they do it? It's very simple. If you close the whole area, what's left at Animal Kingdom? Okay. You keep knocking things out. You're knocking things out. And people are like, wait a second. The line for Flight of Passage is now 5 hours long.
Right.
The line for Navi is 4.5 hours long. Wait, the safari. I have to now. Now you're lined up in the safari, and you're in Asia. Okay, because the same people are coming. The numbers are still there, and you closed an entire area. So why couldn't they? Does it take a brainiac to figure this out? Close off that area, keep Dino Land, keep Dinosaur open, let it run. When you finish that area, because you have new attractions going there, then go ahead and ruin it with Indiana Jones. Okay, take away my dinosaurs. I'm already pissed that you went ahead and didn't make a Dino World. Give me dinosaurs, please. I love dinosaurs. You
So
know what they did with
you would have
some of
loved
the
Beastly
dinosaurs?
Kingdom.
Yeah. Do you know what they did to the dinosaurs? Some of them that were in the Universe of Energy and Ellen's Energy Adventure. They're on the train ride in Disneyland when you go by the dinosaurs. Did you know that?
no.
Wow.
Yes. They are by the train ride. So my favorite dinosaurs are there. Now, two things about Dino Land quickly. Number one, we were on it the other day because Alyssa and I went there. The first scene that you see after you go through the colored lights and you're transporting into the past is that dinosaur guzzling another dinosaur. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's gone. It does not exist. It's empty there. It's blank. It's dark. It's dreary. My guzzling the dinosaur is history. Oh, Dole Whip Dave, don't be mean. We love dinosaurs. So that's gone. The rest of the ride is still cool. But I was kind of shocked that it was gone.
Mm.
And you know what? One thing I always was bummed out about was the Brachiosaurus. The big one with the long neck. They used to call it a brontosaurus. If you watch the Flintstones, it's a Brachiosaurus. That particular dinosaur used to shoot a mist from its nostrils when it would stick its head out. That's been gone since the pandemic. They never brought that back. I wish they would have brought that back. Now, the worst thing that we dealt with, it was tragic. We're walking, and what's my favorite animal to see besides the Peruvian shark catfish? My favorite animal is the American crocodile in Dino Land.
Yes. Yes,
We've
you
all
like
seen
that.
it.
We
Okay,
finally
you
saw
ready?
him out there together.
Guess what? It's gone, and it was a she. They got rid of her. Now, supposedly, through certain channels that I have that none of you have, they had a party, a cast party. People were crying. They loved this crocodile. Uh, it is now an empty, no water blob. The plaque that was there that described what it was is gone. The umbrella that was there, where you could stand under to watch, is gone. The water is gone. All that's there is a log that was underwater. And people look at the log and go, "Oh, there's no, there's the crocodile." No, that is not the crocodile. They got now. Supposedly, one person said to us that she was getting older, and they were going to do this work, and they found some other Disney kind of place. Like, because I said to the guy, I hope they didn't put her on in the safari, because she's never been amongst other crocodiles, and that would be bad. And no, they didn't. So they put her somewhere. But like I said, they definitely they had a party and all, and the cast members were blown away. They loved her. I mean, it was just so cool to see that gigantic dinosaur. That is a dinosaur in that water whenever you went into the park. And they had it trained. I told you the story already of why the DJ had to be cut, because the DJ played the cowbell. And the signal for the crocodile to eat or go back in was the cowbell. So they had to cut the cowbell. Unlike on Saturday Night Live when Christopher Walken says, "We need more cowbell." No, the crocodile was going crazy from the cowbell, going in and out and in and
Yeah.
out. So they had to cut it. They had to cut it. That's why you don't see the DJ over in Dinoland anymore. That was my Dinoland story.
Love it.
I'm glad you knew that, though. I'm glad you knew that, Cory. That's right. They've
Yeah,
extended it. Now, who knows? It could go till 2007 or 8, because usually it takes Disney about quadruple the time of anybody else to get things done.
Mm-hmm.
we know this, right? Universal can build an entire theme park as big as any. And yeah, we haven't really done much yet with our announcements since D23, but eventually it may get there.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, I forgive Disney for anything that happens, whatever. The truth of the matter is that, what they do perfectly. They do it the right way, for the most part. They've made a couple of mistakes with Figment, and imagination, but did you hear about Josh Gad? I'm going to interrupt you, Lawrence. I'm sorry.
No, you're
What
good.
Josh Gad wrote a letter to Disney corporate.
Yeah.
He went on Figment, and I don't think he found it stimulating. And he made an offer to be part of it if they redid it. Now, Alyssa thinks they might do it, and this is nothing against Disney. I truly believe they're not going to listen to Josh Gad at all. But he did come out and make this statement and said, now Alyssa said something to the effect of, like, he'd be Olaf with Figment, and I was like, no. Olaf and Figment don't match. What is that?
Right.
Give me Dreamfinder back, or something cool, to because the original was the best. But yeah, that's another thing that's happening, that because he was just here doing the candlelight. He did the 2 opening.
But
Oh, okay.
here's something. When I saw that, it made me think back to before they announced that Happily Ever After was coming back, and Jordan Fisher went on his Instagram and posted something about Happily Ever After. And it was just enough of a tease to go, oh, maybe Enchantment's gone away and we're getting Happily Ever After back. And sure enough, the announcement was made soon after that. So I kind of felt like maybe that's what, maybe they're using Josh to just give a little bit of a tease, and they are going to be doing something with that. That would be very, very cool.
Lawrence, you and
I was
Cory.
just thinking that.
Yeah, you both
I was
have
just
high
thinking that
hopes
too.
all the time.
No. I think we're right on a lot of this stuff. I think this. Don't we always think this when we love Disney? Like what you said about the dinosaur ride. Do we know why they did this? I always think when there's an announcement with Disney and they do something, I always think, okay, why? I always want to know why. Why did Disney do this? and we try to figure out why they did something. And it's fun to try to figure out those things because, like you said, they pretty much do everything perfectly. So everything is calculated in what they do. So I was already thinking kind of the same thing as when you said that about Josh Gad and Lawrence started talking about it. It's like I would almost say 100% something's going to happen now because Disney wouldn't put that out there. Or they're putting it out there to see what the fan reaction is because feedback and fan reaction is big for Disney, and they have a history of doing things like that. Let's just tease something and see what the people say.
Yep.
Sneaky, but I think there's something in the works.
Okay, I'm listening to both of you, and I will tell you the part that I add to the duo, the dynamic duo you two Park Bros, is that I am the one that questions and doesn't believe everything on the surface. I delve way deeper. You can throw something at me, and I'm like, okay, and I kind of look at the whole scenario revolving around it. With Happily Ever After, all they really had to do was switch uh, the projections because they had it already. Like they were doing Happily Ever After and the other show later on in the night. When they were doing a party, they were doing that. So that was doable. Changing imagination. I mean, for those of you who remember the original, when you go through and hey, Lawrence, this is a great thing to show the people because a lot of these folks probably don't even remember what the original imagination looks like. If you could go and pull that out, that would be cool. At the end of a stream, they could see the difference. There are parts that you just know that they just put a wall, and who knows what's back there. Who knows what's back there? Lucas told us a story the other day that in Spaceship Earth, for those of you who have been to Spaceship Earth or watched a stream, which should be all of you, otherwise you wouldn't be here, there's that beautiful picture as you're walking outside on the right side of the wall. And it's got the astronauts, right, floating in space. Well, in the original Spaceship Earth, before they redid it, they revisioned it, those astronauts were there. Well, there are other things that were there. Now the astronauts are gone. They went to another, I forget where he said, but they are being used at another place. But there was a lady that's in the original Spaceship Earth, and all they did was put a curtain. And she's still behind the curtain. And she's an animatronic, and she's staring right out. And people who go back there get bugged out because this lady is still there. Isn't that
wow?
You could look it up. It's pretty funny.
It's like the Paperboy, just turn him around, just face him backwards.
You know why the Paperboy is turned around, right?
Tell us again.
The New York Post, extra, read all about it, extra. There was a strike. And people were writing and like spitting on him and throwing things at him. And like, I think they broke his finger off or something. So they moved him. And they moved him into that corner. I wish they'd bring him back. I mean, for all I know, he could still be, who knows what he looks like anymore. Who knows? Maybe they can't turn him around, but it would be cool. It would be cool, but that's why they moved him. There was a strike.
Yeah.
And the paper that they print is the Post, the New York Post. And that's why they moved him. People were not being nice. They were being nasty.
So, real quickly, I'll talk about next or this coming week, Saturday. Tomorrow we're at Magic.
Yes, at Magic Kingdom. Magic Kingdom open till 11 p.m. Eastern time.
Okay, so we'll have a
and it'll be chilly. It's gonna be chilly.
Yeah. We'll be at Magic, and I'll do the pre-show, and then the post-show is going to be um, Main Street Electrical Parade. So I'm excited about that. Saturday, you are.
We are actually breaking an LID rule where we're going to be at Epcot because we haven't done the Festival of the Holidays. We will do our celebrated tradition of the cookie stroll and some other things, and find some good goodies there. And then the following week we'll be there again for Ralph Macchio. And once again, while Neal's playing his butt off, we'll have to just you might have to ask Cory if we can pull this channel in, but we'd love to pull the channel in here and there.
Yeah.
So that you all can see a little bit of Neal's performance and whatever's going on there. We'll keep checking in, and we'll keep touting everyone to go over there and donate too.
Absolutely.
Great.
Good night, Mom. I just want to say good night, Mom. She's heading to bed.
Let's put Purple Pleasure to bed.
She was in New York
Good night, Purple
celebrating
Pleasure.
her birthday yesterday.
Happy birthday, Purple Pleasure.
And her anniversary, her wedding anniversary, is also her birthday. And
Beautiful.
I'll give you the triple effect. Her husband's birthday was also yesterday. So
that's crazy.
Born on the same day and got married on the same day. Love it. So good night, Mom. Anthony Butcher, thank you. Appreciate you watching the show and your kind words there. So yeah, we'll do, now that Neal has me thinking about Figment, I may try and find you the original Figment ride.
That would be great.
To go along with that. If not, then we may, actually I may still do it anyway. We'll show Heiss's version of Luminous for the post show, which is very, very cool because he'll be on the DIZPod with us next Tuesday.
That'll be
and excited to talk to him. He's a self-taught pianist. Self-taught. Crazy to me.
He's great.
Yeah. So looking forward to that. Neal, I appreciate always talking to you, whether we're just chatting on the phone or you're in the parks or here on the DIZPod. You do more for me and my family than you will ever know. So I appreciate that.
Just you guys say it's all, the feeling is mutual, and it's always a pleasure to talk to my friends, to those of you in the chat, et cetera, et cetera. Cory, you're going to enjoy the Festival of the Holidays. Alyssa and I went with Lucas and Megan. We were there twice already. There's some great things to eat. I am going to highly recommend. Ann Gilnack, are you listening? Josh R., are you listening?
Remind me not to try this. Remind me not to try this.
L'chaim. Go to the L'chaim booth to Life. Okay. They have the potato pancakes, or the potato pancakes with salmon. They also have the black and white cookie. Josh and Angie, are you listening? They have rugalach. Nobody could pronounce it correctly. We were online, and I asked a cast member. I felt bad. I was just joking around. She's obviously from the international program, and I said, "How do you pronounce that?" Rogaloo. And I'm like, does anybody know how to pronounce it? So suddenly I was giving them a diction lesson on how to pronounce the CH in Hebrew, that it's a ch sound. And so a gentleman, an African-American gentleman, looked at L'chaim and says, "Does that say L'chaim?" And I said, "Yes." He goes, "Wow, I thought it was L'chaim." I said, "No, you got it right now." So Disney didn't pay me, but I taught at least 20 people how to say Rugalach and L'chaim.
There you go.
So to all of you, to Life, L'chaim, and enjoy yourselves tomorrow with Cory. I will be playing at the biggest church you could ever find anywhere, and I know it's the biggest one in Florida. And it doesn't matter what your religion is. Music is universal. That's what I'm going to leave you on.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I am not of the religion where I will be playing, but I will play that music like I was born of the faith because it's music. And that's what musicians bring to the world. They bring music.
Yeah.
Pamela, what'd you write there? Lahai?
You
It,
um,
it,
also said that you were going to thank Alyssa, for all those times, and we talk about it all the time, don't we? I said, "Hey, Alyssa, what do you do?" And I'm surprised you're still married to him. And and we're always like, "Neal, you're going to practice now." Wow. I want to thank Tammy for allowing me to play rock band in the house and sing you know, to my glory or whatever, for years when I was in my rock band phase. So I thank
well,
her
I'm
for
gonna
putting up.
I'm gonna make this statement to you right now. There's no way I would forgive you for doing that. That's unforgivable. But of course, now I'm going to get bad press from Angie. And wait. It's Angie and who else did I figure is in charge of the Corey fan club? Who else did we say? There was one other
We've
person the
got
other
we've got Theo and Steve, and there's a lot under
night.
them, I guess maybe.
Alicia. Yeah, the Corey fan club is big. So when I joke around with Corey about his singing, yes, I am joking. But would I want him to do that every night? I don't think so.
Although Tammy has favorites though. She likes Carrie from Europe. She said I can rock that one. So I
Oh, there
know
you
I
go.
know what I know where I can live
Well, you
musically.
know,
Corey, if you come to visit, the rock band is up on the third floor.
Oh, fun. Let's do it. We got to take a
there
road
you
trip
go.
up there sometime.
Well,
I love
I
it.
will tell you one of our favorite that Lucas and I used to play was the Beatles one. The
Oh, I have
Beatles
that.
one is fabulous.
It is.
It's
It is.
fabulous. When my
What
guitar
is it?
gently sleeps, it's such a great thing.
Yeah, here
Oh,
comes the sun was a fun one to do.
okay, Josh R. Just to prove that I'm from Brooklyn, I'm going to read what you wrote, and you tell me if I'm right. Throw in a potato knish filled with kasha varnishkis, and I'm sold. Yes, and you know what, Josh? I actually worked at Mr. Appetizer in the Kings Plaza Mall when I was a teen, before I could drive, and I sold that stuff.
Mm.
There you go. Of course, Tiger Girl, there is a Corey fan club. You just have to get in touch with Angie, and she will lead you into the light. She
Don't
will lead you
worry.
into
Don't
the light.
worry. Neal was the first one to sign up. He's got all the monthly gifts that come with it,
It's
including a
unbelievable.
signed flat.
I got Corey's
Yep.
pictures all over my wall. And
Autographs.
yeah, autographs. I'm a lucky guy. I am a lucky guy. But thank you for having me, guys. Folks,
Appreciate
thank
you
you
coming
for
on.
listening to me. All righty.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Thank you
Thank you,
for
Neal.
watching.
We're all family here.
You guys change it up. Go take it out with a big bang.
All
Take
right.
care. Bye
Take
bye,
care.
everybody.
There you go. All right. Have we said it all and done it all? You have anything left on your plate?
No, we are good. I just appreciate everybody
All right.
watching tonight. Great episode. And like I said before, next week we will have Heist Piano coming on, talking about his love of Disney. It's funny because I was just happened to be looking for something, came across his channel, and then when he does his live streams, I'm in there, and so many of the people that we know from the Disney live stream community are watching him play. So, and then to hear Neal say that he's involved in Give Kids the World and Magical Night of Hope was just very cool. So, looking forward to having him next week. Looking forward to tomorrow night doing the pre-show and being out there at Magic Kingdom till 11, and then we're going to see the I don't know why I keep forgetting the name, Main Street Electrical Parade.
It's fun. Lots of memories with that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's going to be great. It'll be a
Yep.
great week. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining us live. We do it live because we do it for you. And yeah, until tomorrow night or until next week on the podcast, right? Which
That's
is
right.
really a couple of bros talking Disney. Good night, everybody.
Good night.